someone else I know on here who does YouTube lives, and he was like, I never turn the comments on for YouTube lives. I was like, I can understand why. And so when I do my roundup of my tips for people, for my clients, I'm going to do a whole course on this, um, of why you might go live on YouTube and best practices. It's always going to be just turn the comments off. The people who come live are most likely not going to be your target market. The purpose of this is not to connect with people live. The purpose of this is to make a lot of content very efficiently and very quickly. So, and I'll talk more about why to my email list. So if you aren't on my email list, you should go to my website, which is splendid.yoga or coaching.splendid.yoga, not .com, .yoga, because I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a business coach for yoga teachers, although most of my clients these days identify more as doctors and therapists and things of that nature, but I still like to identify as a yoga teacher because that's what I am. I'm a yoga teacher. Today, of course, appropriately, I wanted to talk about ways that you, if you are neurosparkly, such as myself, ways that you can focus your ADHD brain when you really need to get shit done. I'm going to give you guys my top 3 tips. One of them's a little esoteric. One of them's going to be very obvious, something that hopefully you've heard before. And one of them requires a little bit of effort. So we're going to talk with the one that requires a little bit of effort. And so my number 1 tip, if you have ADHD, is to get medication. Go to your doctor and find the right medication for you. Okay? I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was 37 years old. I'm 42 now. It wasn't that long ago. And looking back at my life, I can see that the symptoms were coming up when I was in high school. I went from being able to very easily focus to not being able to study at all. I went from an easy straight A student to like barely passing my classes. And there were any number of reasons that I gave myself for why this was. But looking back on it, I realized, oh, it's because my neurodivergence was coming out because I was going through puberty and my brain was changing. Gosh, sure wish I would have known that back then. My life would have been so different. But I didn't. Nobody caught it. They didn't diagnose women with ADHD back then. They just didn't. It was really sexist. And it's because they diagnosed boys because the hyperactivity would identify itself in boys as being like physically active. But of course, girls are taught better to mask and in fact are in danger, physically in danger if they don't mask. And so our hyperactivity would happen in our brains and we would just overthink all the time. And if it's all happening in your brain and you're not telling anyone about it and it's not disturbing the classroom because you're not, bouncing all around, even though in my head that's what was happening, then you don't get diagnosed. This is why I'm so passionate about talking about neurodivergence in women at this stage of my life, is that it looks different in women, just like heart disease looks different in women. One of my clients is a doctor who focuses on educating doctors about how heart disease looks different in women than it does in men. But the only thing the media talks about is like, this is what a heart attack looks like if you have a penis. But it's different no matter how you identify if you have a uterus. So, or, maybe you don't have a uterus if you at one point was born with a uterus. So my number 1 tip, you got to go to a doctor. You got to get the right medication for you. And unfortunately, it can be an experiment. I was very lucky. When I was in my master's program, I was telling a friend of mine who happened to be a therapist who also has ADHD. I was like, dude, I used to be able to open a book and just like photographic memory, like have it in my brain. And now I'm like reading the same 3 lines and nothing is getting into my brain. What is going on? And she was like, oh, you probably have ADHD. Here, try this. And she gave me an Adderall. And I took the Adderall. And all of a sudden I was like, this is how it used to be. I used to be able to just have the thought, I should go make my bed. And then I would just make my bed and then I would move on to the next task. Instead of all of a sudden I would find myself reorganizing my shoes and it's the end of the day and I haven't made my bed. And I'm like, wait, what happened to that? That was like 12 hours ago. I was supposed to make my bed. Where did that go? So when I took the Adderall and it helped me feel normal, I was like, I got to go talk to my doctor. I was very fortunate. My general practitioner at the time was able to diagnose me. I, I didn't realize it was that big of a deal for other people. That's like, finding someone to diagnose you, especially as a woman who actually believes you and is willing to give you medication and is licensed to give you medication, and it doesn't cost $2,000 and it's covered by your insurance, and there's not a 6-month waiting list. That's what most people are up against, I found, here in the United States of America. I was very lucky. My general practitioner at the time, I told him my symptoms. I said, my friend gave me an Adderall. It helped. He didn't demonize me. He listened to me. You see this little tail wagging back here? We got a little doggy friend joining us. And he was like, great, let's try it out. Here's how you take it. Twice a day, 5 days a week, take 2 days off a week. That's what I've been doing. Haven't had to up my dose. Often I forget to take it. So the thing that drives me crazy about this stuff is you have to go back. You can't get refills. You have to go back and have a doctor's appointment every single month. So I learned to spread it out so that I go back every like 2 or 3 months to get my medication. So that is my number one tip if you have ADHD. Find the right medication for you. And if you try one and the side effects don't help you, you need to talk to your doctor and try something else. There are lots and lots of options. There are lots of supplements that you may need to be taking. You need to talk to a doctor about this. I talked to this on one of my other lives. One of the hallmarks of the ADHD brain, we use more magnesium than a neurotypical brain. So you may need to find the right magnesium supplement for you. You need to find the right time of day to take it. And it's all going to be a grand experiment. Okay? There's not going to be one single thing that changes your life for the better, except for talking to your doctor and having a medical professional help you and guide you through the process of finding the right medication, the right supplements, to help you so that you can get through the day in this neurotypical world without feeling like you're failing at everything. Great? Hello, sweetheart. I see you. You don't have to whine about it. That's why I put you in the other room earlier. You were whining about things. We had a great nap today. You guys want to see him? Here's one of them. I'm taking care of 4 doggies right now. This is Aspen. He's the whiniest one. He's a rescue. He's very anxious. So he's not my doggy. If he were my doggy, I wouldn't be rewarding his whining. I would be training him not to whine. But he's not my doggy. I just give him the attention and love that he wants. So that's my first tip for focus. My second tip, body doubling. Okay? Finding someone in your life who will be in the same room as you, or finding a Zoom partner for dedicated tasks. So it's not like, hey, can you come hang out? And then you're just hanging out. It's like, hey, I need someone here so I can put my laundry away. Will you come over and be in the same room? And that person's energy will ground your energy. Here, come up here. Come up here. I can't talk when you're whining. So if you want me to put you in the other room, I will. But I can't just like pet you the whole time because then Maggie May gets jealous. Here's Maggie. Come on up, buddy. You can jump up here. And then I can snuggle both of you. But it's a little distracting for me. Body doubling with dogs doesn't work for me. All right? Unfortunately, I wish body doubling with dogs worked for me, but it doesn't. Okay. All right, we're going to have to walk over here. We're going to have to put the dogs in the other room because they're driving me crazy and I can't focus my thoughts. All right. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in. Yep, all the way in, Maggie girl. There we go. Good job. All right, there we go. So, body doubling is my second tip for ADHD focus. Getting someone else in the room. Their energy in the room will help ground, like this light. We'll go over here. Will help ground your energy so that you can actually do the thing. But again, you have to be very focused with what you want to do when that person is there, or you're going to get all distracted. Now, I might find easier in person. You can also find like Zoom body doubling groups, not as effective for me, but I offer them through my group coaching program. Once a week, Mondays at 9 a.m. Pacific time, we all meet up. I do coaching, but a lot of my clients just use that time for body doubling. And I make them tell me what is it that you're going to get done, right? Respond to that one email. Make that one doctor's appointment. not just like, I'm going to work on my website, but like, what specifically are you going to complete so you can cross it off the list? All right. So it's task oriented body doubling, task versus goal oriented body doubling. You guys understand the difference there? Goal oriented would be like, I want to work on my website. But then there's a series of tasks under, okay, well, how are you going to know that you're done? Right? So it's like, okay, well, is your calendar booking link up to date? Let's get that done. Does your landing page need to be edited? Let's get that done. Are you putting together a new offer? Let's get that, not like let's get that funnel done, but like let's actually get to like the checklist of things that's like it's done. Because when you check things off a list, when you have ADHD, you get a little dopamine hit, and we love that dopamine. Okay, so number one tip, talk to your doctor, get on the right medications, the right supplements. Tip number two, body doubling. Use other people's energy with consent to get your shit done. Tip number three, this is a little weird. This is from the military. You're going to close your eyes. You're going to look back and forth really quickly, as quickly as you can. And this in your brain is replicating REM sleep, rapid eye motion sleep. It's resetting your circadian rhythms so that you can then go on and do the next thing and get out of your racing billions of thoughts and just go and calmly do the next thing. But again, before you do this, you need to have a dedicated task that you are going to do after it. You don't have to do it for very long, 30 seconds, if that. So it's like, okay, I'm going to do my REM eye movement thing, and then I'm going to go empty the dishwasher. And then if you're all of a sudden flooded with the billions of things that you could possibly be doing at any given moment, once you're done with that one task, you do it again, first deciding what's the next most crucial thing that I need to do to move my goals forward. And then you go and do that thing. All right? So there are your three things going. All right, let's read through these comments that I don't really want to read. Yep, someone's got ADHD. Great. Man, people feel like these comments are anonymous, but they aren't. This isn't anonymous. We can see you. Do you know that? We can see you. Okay, so those are my three tips. I am coming to the end of my goal of going live every day here on YouTube. And I didn't do it every day. In fact, I skipped the last 2 days. Didn't feel like it. No big deal. Doesn't change anything. No one here cared, of course. You guys don't give a shit. But I do have a lot of thoughts, and I'm going to be sending that out to my email list along with the nerdy data. How many subscribers I got, how many views I got, how many hours of views I got, and some tips for anyone who might want to use this as a strategy for building your business. I, of course, did not do this with the intention of building my business. I did this just for the hell of it. No, I did this to find out if it was an efficient way for me to make content, because that's something that my clients have a real block around, is how to get a lot of content done at one time in a way. You missed it, Hindarmi. This live was about ADHD time management. You're going to have to wait till it goes live and you can go back and listen to it. Now I'm just talking about whatever I want to talk about. Are there no titles on these things? I put titles on them. Can you guys not see the titles? This is why my number one piece of advice for people going live on YouTube: turn off the comments. They do not add anything to the conversation. And they're just a distraction, and people feel like they can say whatever they want. And it kind of gets like weird in like a mean way that I don't really like. And it's like one of the reasons that I usually go live on the meditation app Insight Timer, because the commenters there are like genuinely intelligent, soul-seeking humans. And I can't really say that for you guys. I have not had one interaction on here that has contributed to the conversation in a meaningful way. But the problem with Insight Timer is it won't let me download the data, the video, and YouTube will. So I get to turn all of this stuff that I've been talking about for the past month into short form content using AI. I don't even have to edit it. I've got an AI tool that I use to do this stuff for me. And then I'm going to have like 2 years worth of comments from 1 month worth of work. That's why I did this. I talked about whatever I wanted. I had no strategy whatsoever. I had no plan. I would just sit down and be like, what do I want to talk about? Oh, what's on my mind is what I'm going to talk about. And would I recommend this to other people? Depends on what your goals are. For me, probably not going to go live here again after this month. Didn't really do much for me energetically. I didn't end these feeling like, I feel more connected to myself. I feel more connected to the world. I feel better about my life. No, most of the time I was like, do internet commenters not realize that we can see them? Like, do they just think that they're anonymous? But we can see you. Do you not realize that? We can actually like look through your camera and see to the core of your soul. It's not looking good out there, but that was to be expected. Okay, that's enough. Bye.